Okay, let's look at finding some derivatives using the product rule. So the product rule, the way you know it, you got to do the product rule is you have like one function with x multiplied by another one with x, or whichever variable you're working with. And the equation is really easy to remember, or the formula is u prime v plus u v prime, meaning the derivative of the first times v, whatever inside the parentheses, times the original and the derivative of the second. So what I like to do for these ones is, for these first couple, it's a little easier, but I like to just make a little list, and then I can just go ahead and input everything into my formula and simplify. So u is negative 3x squared, and v is 2x to the fourth plus 5x. Okay, so then u prime is going to be negative 6x, and v prime is going to be 8x cubed plus 5. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and actually do this problem, and I'm going to write everything else first. I'll distribute, simplify, and then we'll be done. So here's u prime times v, which is 2x to the fourth plus 5x, plus u, which is negative 3x squared. So actually I can just go ahead and write this as a minus here. And I'm just going to have to take that into account when I simplify, times 8x cubed plus 5. Okay, so we have u prime v plus u v prime. Now I'm going to go ahead and distribute everything. So remember, you want to multiply it to each part here, and same thing here, and then we'll simplify. So I always think we multiply the numbers, we add the exponents. So negative 6 times 2, multiply the numbers, and then add the exponents. 1 plus 4 gives me x to the fifth. Same thing, negative 30x squared. And now when I do this part, I'm going to make sure to remember that this is a minus sign right here. So that's going to be negative 3x squared times 8x cubed will leave me with negative 24x to the fifth. And here I'm going to have negative 15x squared. Okay, now at this point, you always want to look and see if you can combine things, and looks like I can. I have negative 12x to the fifth and negative 24x to the fifth. Remember, all you need to combine is to just have the same exponent or same variable to an exponent of the same number. So that's going to be negative 12 minus 24 is going to give me negative 36x to the fifth. And, if you want, you can just kind of cross these out after you combine. But you don't have to do that in a simpler one like this. But when it gets where you have more terms, it might be easier. Negative 30x squared minus 15x squared is going to leave me with minus 45x squared. And now I'm done with this one. All right, let's go on to the next one here. We're going to look over here and we're going to say, okay, same process. I got u is going to be negative x cubed plus x squared. And then over here, I'm going to have v, which is going to be 2x squared plus 4x. So my u prime is going to be negative 3x squared plus 2x. And my v prime is going to be 4x plus 4. All right, so you can already see this one's going to get a little trickier here. So let's make a little barrier here so we know which problem we're on. And we're going to move this down so that we got plenty of room. We'll get to these in a second. So let's go ahead and write out now our u prime v plus u v prime. So we're going to have f prime of x equals negative 3x squared plus 2x times 2x squared plus 4x. And because I'm running out of room here, I'm going to write a plus sign, but I'm going to actually put it down here. We got uv is negative x cubed plus x squared times v prime, is going to be 4x plus 4. Okay, so we have u prime v plus u v prime. Okay, so we're going to have 8 terms here for a minute, but I'll show you how you can simplify these and have it work out where it's not too bad by the end. Okay, negative 3x squared times 2x squared is going to give us negative 6x to the fourth. Then I'm going to go ahead and multiply negative 3x squared times 4x It's going to give us negative 12x cubed. Now I have plus 4x cubed right here, and then plus 8x squared. And I'm going to keep going here. I got negative x cubed times 4x is going to give me negative 4x to the fourth. Then I'm going to have negative 4x cubed. And again, I ran out of room, so we'll write our last two terms down here. Plus 4x cubed now, so that's the x squared plus, so you can already see something's going to cancel out. And then plus 4x squared. Okay, so this is a good example of where there's a lot of terms here, right? But we can begin to cancel out things pretty quickly, and if we can do that, we'll have a much simpler answer. So the first thing I want to look for is any kind of repetition here where I have the same thing. Well, look right here. We have negative 4x cubed plus 4x cubed. Done. It's gone. Okay, we don't have to worry about that again. What else? Let's see if we have any other ones that we could combine or get rid of right away. It doesn't look like we can get rid of any right away, but we can simplify pretty fast here. So I'm going to go with the highest power, which is x to the fourth, and I look and I see one other one. Negative 4 minus 4x to the fourth is going to give me negative 10x to the fourth. Here I'm going to have, so we can go ahead and cross these out to keep track of everything. And then here we're going to have negative 12x cubed plus 4x cubed. And those are the only instances of x cubed, so that's going to leave me with negative 8x cubed. And then I'm going to have two things left. I just got 8x squared plus 4x squared, so that is going to leave me with 12x squared. And now I'm done with this one. Okay, so you can see it got a little complicated there for a minute, but it simplified back down, and your final answer is actually not too bad. Okay, let's do two more here, and then we'll be done with these product rule examples. So let's concentrate on both of these. We're going to get u here is going to be 3 natural log of x, and v is going to be x to the fourth plus 2x cubed. Okay, so u prime is going to become 3 over x, or I could also write it as 3x to the negative 1. Kind of a personal preference here, but I'm going to go with 3x to the negative 1 so we can think about combining those exponents when we need to. Now here we're going to have 4x cubed plus 6x squared. Okay, so let's set up our derivative. We're going to have f prime of x. It's going to be u prime, which is going to be 3x to the negative 1. And then v times v, which is going to be x to the fourth plus 2x cubed. And then I'm going to have u v prime. So I'm going to have 3 natural log of x times 4x cubed plus 6x squared. Okay, now there's not a lot of combining you can do here, but one thing you can do is you can, well, combine this first part, and then here we'll do something with this as well. But let's start with the first half of this. So we're going to have 3x to the negative 1 times x to the fourth. We'll just think negative 1 plus 4 is going to leave me with 3. And then 3 times 2, always multiply the numbers, add the exponents, 6x squared. And then here we're going to have 3 times 4x cubed. So actually I can take this 3 and distribute it, and I'll write that all in front. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to have 3 times 4x cubed is going to give me 12x cubed. 3 times 6x squared is going to give me 18x squared. And that's multiplied by natural log of x. Yeah, and at this point, I can't really see anything that's going to simplify and make it easier, so I would just leave up my answer like this. Okay, let's look at one more here, and let's bring it down so we got plenty of space. So we're going to bring this one down here, and let's look at doing the product rule with this one. So we got u is 4 cosine of x, and v is 3x squared plus 8x. So right away, I know that my u prime will be negative 4 sine of x, and then v prime will be 6x plus 8. So let's go ahead and use our product rule. U prime times v, which is 3x squared plus 8x, plus uv prime. So that's going to be 4 cosine of x times 6x plus 8. And, the only thing I would do to simplify this one is I would multiply the negative 4 times both of these terms and write it in the front. So that's negative 4 times 3x squared is going to be negative 12x squared. Negative 4 times 8x is going to be negative 32x. And then we have sine of x here. And then here is going to be 24x. So let's fix that. 24x. Plus 8 times 4 will be 32 and cosine of x, right? What you don't want to do is multiply that x from the cosine by these terms, okay? Because you have to think of cosine of x and sine of x as their own term, independent from our our other terms here. But this will be your final answer here, and now you're done with this one.